Hi, it is Rick Adams here from practicalcsm.com, welcoming you to my customer success rants and musings series. Today on episode 26, we're asking the question, my customer will not return my calls or emails. What should I do? So it can be very frustrating if we're just, facing a blank wall. We're trying to get hold of the stakeholders within the customer organization, and they're just not replying to our emails. They're not answering the call. We're leaving answer phone messages. We're sending a "Did you get my email?" And they're just not interested. They're just not replying. So what are we going to do about that? What are we going to do? Because, of course, we can't help them unless we can communicate with them. And that's always going to be the case, all right? Even as basic as providing like a welcome kit or some sort of onboarding kit. We can send it, but we don't even know if it's been received, let alone read, let alone actioned on, unless we're able to communicate to say, did you get the welcome kit? Did you read it? Did you find everything that was in it? Are there any problems? Yeah, even something as basic as that for customer success management requires a level of communication, right? I would suggest that what we look at is, first of all, is an understanding, take a step back and understand in terms of what the customer is trying to achieve. So not in terms of what we're trying to achieve. I know what we're trying to achieve. It's very straightforward. We want the customer to renew and preferably buy more. All right, I know that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what the customer wants to achieve. Why did the customer buy this product or this service or this solution that comprises a range of products and services combined? Why did they do it? Well, they have an initiative. And that initiative is a thing that they're doing either within a department or a function or globally across the entire organization or within a region or whatever. And somebody somewhere is responsible for that initiative working. Somebody has got some targets. And if they miss those targets, they're going to be in trouble. And if they hit those targets, maybe they're going to be a great hero. So who are those somebodies? Because there may be more than one of them. So who is responsible? That means who is the person who actually does the work and who is accountable? Who is the person who's going to be in trouble if it doesn't happen? Okay. So we need to identify. Now, it might be the same person, by the way. Okay. So responsible and accountable could be two different people. It could be the same person or group of people, within a team, for example, who are both responsible and accountable for it happening within the organization. So we need to identify that. Now, we should already have identified that. We should know that. So are we approaching all of those people, the people who are responsible and the people who are accountable? Because the responsible are the ones that we tend to talk to, right? They're the ones who have to do it. And then the accountable will quite likely be what maybe a level or a couple of levels above we may not be speaking to. So can we then speak to, if we can't speak to these, can we engage with these? Because these people, if they are accountable, then their career's on the line potentially, right? Or their reputation is going to be damaged if it doesn't happen and enhanced if it does. So we need to pay them the courtesy of going to them then and say, look, we've been speaking to your colleague, or indeed we've been trying to speak to your colleague X. We haven't had any success, not sure why. Could be all sorts of reasons we don't know, but hence, although you said to go to X, and obviously X is our day-to-day contact, hence we're coming to you at a more senior level, Mr. or Mrs. Y, in order to get your input to say, well, who should we go to? Do you want to talk to us direct, or do you want to appoint somebody else, or do you want to give X a nudge for us? Okay, so that's my first step. Actually, I say it's my first step, but that's my first bit of research. The second bit of research is I'm going to ask, well, what is the current relationship status? What's the health of this relationship? How good a relationship does my company have with their company? Do I have with these stakeholders, or does the salesperson perhaps have with the stakeholders? So maybe we've got somebody who's got a better relationship than I have. So what is the current relationship? What do they think of us? Do they like us? Do they hate us? Do they not know us yet? So that's useful to understand before we start doing too much. Where are we in the overall customer success engagement lifecycle? Is this at the beginning when they've just made the sale and we're just introducing ourselves and saying, hi, I'm Rick, I'm your CSM, I'm going to be helping you now that you've made the purchase, I'm going to be helping you to to get on board and to adopt and to then get value from your product that you've just purchased. In which case it may be that they do not recognize who we are and what we're meant to be doing and don't see the need for us, or possibly they're not ready for us, which is quite common, or possibly they're just up to their eyeballs and don't yet get how we're the ones who can really save them from a lot of the effort and work that they're undergoing. So again, where we are in the customer success engagement life cycle is really important to understand. If we're a lot further down the line, maybe this has now slipped to being not so important as it used to be. And maybe that's a good thing, or maybe it's not a good thing. Maybe it's a good thing for them and a bad thing for us. Maybe we now need to say, well, look, this person is now really focusing more on projects B, C, and D, but project A is still important, but they're now on doing these newer projects. Maybe we need to go back to that accountable person and say, well, the responsible person is now no longer really taking the responsibility, which is fine. Who would you like us to engage with on this? Do you want us to perhaps meet with yourself, but on a less regular cadence? What do you want to do? So we need to understand where we are in the life cycle. Who knows the stakeholders best? So again, depending upon where we are in the life cycle, if it's early on, maybe it's not us, maybe the account manager or the salesperson, maybe a systems architect, solutions engineer, somebody of that nature. So maybe we could get somebody like that to help us if we're finding that there's like a personality barrier, or they don't get what a CSM is going to do for them, and they need to overcome that a little bit. So maybe we can effect an introduction from somebody else. And clarity on the value. If we don't understand the value, not the value to us, again, the value to them of engaging with us. So think very clearly about a very simple message. The elevator pitch. The 30 seconds in the elevator, very famous in the world of sales. If you're in the elevator, you've only got a few seconds. Somebody, if you want to sell to somebody in the elevator, you better be quick, right? Because they're going to get off. They've pressed the button. It's going up. You've got a few seconds till it arrives at their floor. So that's what the elevator pitch means. So what's your elevator pitch? That you're going to sell this stakeholder about customer success and how important it is to them, because it is a sale initially. If they're not interested at the moment, they're showing they're not interested, right? For whatever reasons, it's not a priority for them. How do we make it a priority? Well, we've got to know what value we offer, right? And then, as we've said, then having worked all of that out, is thinking about, well, if we can't get hold of them with the value, or if we can't get somebody else to get hold of them who knows them already, who can introduce us again, then, who do I escalate this to? Who is the accountable, who is above the responsible, who I can go to? So there we go. Those are my thoughts on if the customer does not return my calls or emails, well, what should I do? Yeah, that's it for today. Free chapter 1 of my book on practicalcsm.com. Feel free to drop your thoughts and comments, how you would handle this sort of situation, how you have handled this situation. And I look forward to speaking to you in future episodes. Thank you very much indeed for watching. Bye-bye for now.